Hello. Hello, future me, and anyone else who cares to watch. My name is Callum, for anyone who doesn't know. Anyone who cares. And today I'm going to record myself going into my beehives and see what they're up to. It is currently, is it April yet? Yeah, it's April. And the bees have been building up. They've taken down all of their feed, which is good. Still not finished on the fondant, working on that. So let's get inside and see how they're doing. Now, this colony, I've been monitoring because the queen was not quite keeping up with my other hive. Well, we've properlised that down nicely. Come on. There we go. Bees will glue everything together. That's what they do. They create propolis and they glue the frames to the hive and the hive parts to the other hive parts, and it all gets progressively harder to take apart as the colony gets bigger and stronger. Now currently there are on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, maybe 8 frames. Look, they're working on these ones though. You see a few odd bees running around, cleaning them up, getting them ready. So that is good. Same again on that. Not much going on. And a third frame. Zilch, nada. There are 11 frames in here in total. So we will see. And I think this is where the action starts. We've got nothing on this side, as expected. And on this side, we have a very small amount of liquid stores. There's, I don't know what you can see, but where is it? Here, we have a couple of cells. Oops, sorry. Right here, we have a couple of cells with pollen in. I doubt you'll be able to see it on this camera. And right up here, there's a few cells with some liquid stores in. Whether that's natural from flowers and forage that they've brought in themselves, or whether it's from the liquid feeder they've had on, I do not know. But it doesn't matter because I'm not planning to harvest any honey from these this year. My goal this year is to expand and get more colonies. Yeah, this frame's not even finished being drawn out from last season, although what is there, they have filled with pollen and liquid feed. So that is... Can you see it glistening there? Oh, you can. Wonderful. Filled with pollen and liquid feed. Lots of nice young bees scurrying about, and you can see the younger ones from the older ones. So it's really hard to... I don't know how YouTubers and stuff do this. You see this one is quite a young bee because it's very orange. That girl right here that I just booped. Whereas some of the older bees are a bit darker. They don't have so much of a bright orange, like a couple of those there. Can you see the difference on camera? No idea. You see some of them are more brightly coloured than others. The brightly coloured ones are younger. And comically enough... Oh, sorry, nearly squashed one. Comically enough, that is because the orange is actually fuzz. It's hair. So bees, just like people, when they get older, they go bald. Another frame with pollen and a little bit of liquid stores on that side, and lots of pollen on that. Look at that. Can you see all that yellow in there? That is all pollen, which is protein, which I need for the rearing of young. So that is good. Liquid stores and pollen, and quite a lot on that frame. Oh, look at that. You see this? This bee right here with the orange leg. Oh, she's just scurried round to the other side. With the pollen on her legs somewhere. Can you see that? Bringing in even more to the pollen frame. Sorry, this is my first attempt at properly filming myself, so I may be a little unpolished. It's also my first time using a microphone, which is just under my hat here. Can you see this big fuzzy thing on my forehead? And this, right, there we are, into the action. It's a big frame of exactly what you want to see. Big frame of brood. That's very, very good, because I was concerned about this, the queen in this colony falling behind. So she's got a big slab of brood there and there. So that's one frame of brood. Fantastic. And supposedly every full frame of brood forms into 3 frames worth of bees. So how much was that? That's maybe, what, 60% of the frame there? Full? And similar on the other side? So perhaps that's going to catch into 2 frames of bees, I don't know. 2 frames of bees. Mind out, come on. Rather not squash you if I can avoid it. Ah, this one has... Oh, they've started to lay a little bit of drone brood. Now, is there... This is where I need to be keeping an eye out for the queen. Is she anywhere on this frame? They can be quite hard to spot. And the farm is active today. Moving cattle around. No queen anywhere on here, I don't think. But look, that is all some darker brood again, which is good. And on this side, another brood. And you see how it's kind of in a ring pattern. That's because the brood in the center has already hatched out and been relayed. I don't know if you can see down into the cells on this camera. Oh, that one's shiny, that one's liquid stores. But they're especially curled up in there. You can kind of see in some of those cells curled up larvae. So those will be capped off soon, as some of them are quite large larvae. And these more pronounced cells, see how they're kind of yellow and kind of peaked? They stick out a bit. They are drone brood, which are the males. Drone brood are the males whose sole purpose is to go out, mate, and die. And a colony only produces males when it's doing well. It's a good sign if a colony produces some brood. Now, they can produce exclusively brood if something goes wrong. Can get a drone layer, that is not good. But a little bit of brood is good. And then we're into yet more brood. Fantastic. Is there a queen anywhere? Perhaps you can look with me. About here, there you go. Where is she? Oh, she should have a blue dot on, I believe. God, these bees are looking very nice and vibrant, some of them. About half of them. Where? Oh, sorry, did I? Oh, I've just been stung in the finger. Fortunately, my gloves are very thick. And she is now spinning around trying to work out her stinger. Did she manage it? Yeah, she pulled it out. Well done. So she will live to see another day. Alright. Moving out of frame, I believe. Queen, 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 queen. No sign of a queen. Are there freshly laid eggs? Yes, there are on this frame, so she could well be on here. I am not even going to attempt to show you eggs on camera, as they are very, very small, and they're down at the bottom of a cell. Nope, can't see her on there. Down you go back in, and then butt it up against the one it was on. Mind out. Now, a lot of beekeepers use smoke, but as you can see, I don't really use smoke. I'll use it if I have to move some bees if they are in the way and I don't want to squash them. More brood, which is good. I have now... Talking to myself has made me lose count, which is unfortunate. Queen, queen, queen. Am I still? Yep. Queen. I can actually see the bald spot on the backs of some of the bees. That's funny. Not on the front of there. There are stores on this frame and brood, which is good. And more brood and a queen. Ah! Right, I'm going to hold it one-handed. Do you see... Oh, sorry. Did I nearly squash you? Right, where did you go? Just here, there is a bee that's bigger than the rest, with a big blue dot on its back. That is the queen. I won't try and pick her up or anything, because I've got big, clumsy gloves on. And I'm very happy to say that she is much bigger than last time I inspected, because they shrink down for the winter. I think that they stop laying eggs, and so as part of that they shrink right down. And the last couple of times I've inspected, she's been small, but the colony next door, the queen, has been big, and I'm only a third-year beekeeper, so I'm not super experienced, and so that was making me feel a bit nervous. But she is here, and she is now laying with confidence. Lots of frames all laid up. I actually had to... Well, I suppose I didn't have to, but I actually chose to boost her twice. I gave her 2 frames. Well, I gave her a frame 1 week from the other colony over into this one, and then the following week, or 2 weeks later, I think it was 2 weeks later, I took another frame and put it in here. So I took... When they very first started laying, she hadn't really started laying. She had just her few first eggs, and the other one already had 2 or 3 frames that were full of eggs and a little bit of capped. So I took one of her frames with some capped brood and put it in here just to kind of boost them up, get them going, speed things up. Okay, that is just stores. So okay, everything in here looks good. Better than expected. I now am confident that this queen is fine. She's fattened up. She's laying well. Everything in here looks good. It's just a case of waiting for them to... Why do you look like that? Waiting for them to catch up. I am going to put... Not catch up, sorry. Fill the box. I am going to put this frame that isn't particularly fat down in here. Do a bit of... Hang on, this is... Let me move these back. I don't want to... If you put frames down too close to each other, you can roll the bees in between the frame as you're doing it, and you don't want... That's not good. You can kill your queen doing that, so you have to be quite careful. Open the gap up as much as possible. But that one up there. And then I think I'm going to do the same again here. Right, so move that up. Pull that out. Is it fat? No, it's not too fat. Then maybe here. Put that down. And what this does is by dividing the brood nest... I've essentially, I've put more space to lay, smack bang right in the middle of the where the queen is laying, put some empty frames. So now she should quite happily fill those up a bit quicker than she would have if they're all the way over here. And she's just expanding one frame at a time. Now she's got 2 empty frames. They're right in the middle, so the bees on both sides will now crawl all over it, clean it as much as they can, and get it ready to go. So, put this back in, which I always forget. This is just it's called a dummy board. Literally just a sheet of ply with some little tabs. And put that in there. And all that does is all of the frames have the correct amount of space between them for bees to draw out comb and lay and whatever. So it stops them doing anything stupid in this gap, basically. That's the only purpose of it. This gap is not quite big enough for another frame. Unfortunately, only fits 11, not 12. So yeah, just put a dummy board in there to prevent them doing anything stupid. Going to carefully put this back on because it does kind of touch the top of all of the frames, unfortunately. My own poor design. So I'm just going to tap, 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 tap to try and slowly lower it down. And then, are you guys going to move? See, this is where a smoker would come in handy. Move so you don't get squashed. I'm going to squash 1 or 2, but I'm not squashing 20, thank you. Right. There we are. Right, hopefully not too many were under that. That's at least 2. And they still have some fondant to work through, so that also goes back on. This one doesn't touch the middle of the frames. Right, that's hive number 1 checked. What's our time? 16 minutes. That's not bad. Now I'll simply move you back a bit, and we will have a look at hive number 2. Do you need to go back a bit further? Just a smidge. That good? Good? Ah. I have fun on my own. I just have to keep the empty box on top. There's the roof, then an empty brood box, because that can hold frames. That's a perfectly normal box, just to give it space for this jar. The downside of jar feeders. Now these guys had their feeder replaced more recently because they are a stronger colony. This feeder was put on there. When did I put that on? No, it wasn't yesterday. It might have been midweek. It might have been Wednesday. I've got it all written down in my phone somewhere. But I can't remember off the top of my head. That is, you hear that unsticking? So how many frames were these on? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh wait, no, I moved frames, so I can't tell now. That's fun. This is a hive tool I didn't happen to need last time on the other hive, because they have been weaker over the winter, and I've been into them. I've opened the hive a couple of times. When a beehive is not filling the box, they don't tend to propolize stuff down all that much. And also, I don't know if you can see from there, but I have tiny little rails that these are resting on, which just rather than the whole, I moved a bit fast there, rather than the whole of this tab sitting flat on a piece of wood, giving them a big area to glue around, it's literally just a like 1.5 mil piece of metal that it lays on top like that. So then it's just that tiny little strip that they can glue down. They can't like glue under it and all around it and stuff. So things are generally, I mean, they can still glue the frames to each other, I suppose. And they do that. I can feel them unsticking as if they're propolized together. Nothing, and a little bit of honey, although, given how untidy this frame is, I'm going to say that's a little bit of capped honey from last season that they are just now getting to, because they've only just started to clean the very last frame in the end of the box, which is absolutely fine. Sorry, I should probably count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 maybe, so they've got 2 frames left. 2 frames left. So really, these guys could probably do with another box either this weekend. Definitely by next weekend, they will need another box to expand into. Ah, I see they haven't done what I wanted. There was some stupid comb here, so I cut it out in hopes that they would kind of draw it out and fill that gap. And what they've actually done is kind of just... Can you see? Did I just squash something? No, I didn't. Can you see in there? They've just done stupidness again. Does that look like a continuation, or does that look like holes that kind of go into the corner and up into the side? I don't like that you do that. That doesn't give me faith in my future plans. Usually, or most beekeepers, buy these frames with wax foundation, which is just a sheet of beeswax imprinted with the hexagons all over it, ready to go. It's like maybe 2 or 3 mil thick. And it just gives them like a starting guide. And they draw off of that wax and make extend the hexagons all outwards on both sides to make their honeycomb. However, that wax is very expensive. It like double or triples the price of just buying the frames on their own. And some people do talk about, I should probably keep moving while I'm talking. Some people do preach online about foundationless frames and just putting the naked frame in with a small starter strip of some sort, even just a piece of wood, just an edge for them to use as a guide rail. And that's what I'm trying to see if it... Oh, sorry. See if I can save myself some money. Now, this little leftover piece here that they just haven't quite chewed out, that is a little piece of foundation. You see how it's just a very thin thing? And that would be this entire thing, just a panel. But like I said, makes it very expensive. Like double the price. Or more. I'm also changing the style of hive I'm using. Get out my face, please. Ah, we found the queen already. Now she is actually... Whoa, there's a box there. She's actually a bit larger than the other queen. Can you see her there? She is still larger. And as far as I've been led to believe, bigger is better. In most cases. It's not like the be-all, end-all, but in general, bigger is better. Now this frame is where they've been taking down feed. Oh, there she is again. You can see her, and behind, glistening, lots and lots of liquid stores. This is almost entirely liquid stores. Maybe about 30% of this is pollen as well in the middle, kind of under her. Can you see all that yellow in the cells under her? Pollen. She is a big, beautiful queen. She is my favourite. She does not have a name. This is just hive number 1. Right, move out of the way. You're right where the frames butt up against each other. Get out of the way. Thank you. So that was pollen and liquid feed. I imagine this will be similar. Oh, this is a not quite completely drawn out frame. It hasn't been drawn to full thickness. The bees don't seem to be drawing anything out, really, which is odd. I'm seeing eggs in the bottom of these cells. You feel much further away than before. I don't think you'll be able to see eggs. Let's give it a go. I don't think I can see what you're seeing either. Can you see? No, because the light's shining straight through. But it's kind of cool in its own way. Is there even anything in the bottom of those cells? No. But down here... Ah, there you go. You see those tiny... Mind out the way, bee. There's tiny white dots right there in the bottom of that cell. You see those? Those are the eggs. I'm surprised I'm able to get that on camera. Whether or not it will translate to the upload, I don't know. But yeah, those are eggs. This is almost entirely pollen. And they are another bit of leftover foundation that they haven't drawn out. Don't know why they're not drawing anything out. I guess they don't need to because they've got enough space. They haven't filled all the frames yet. And so they have no need to make new comb when they haven't utilized all of the comb that's in here. And yes, this is me like having that realization in real time. That obviously why the hell would they bother to build anything when they haven't filled? Why would you build an extension when you've got unused rooms in your house? And this is brood. Just blow them and they wander off. Brood, and then in between we've got some nice fat larvae. Just waiting to be capped. See them in those couple of holes there? Lovely. So that's the first frame of brood, I believe. My memory is terrible. I cannot remember from one moment to the next. So we're going to say 1, 2, 3, 4 frames of brood, I'm assuming, and then that final frame will probably be stores. Yep. Beautiful full... Oh, I've squashed a bee. No, I haven't. She's flown off. I've squeezed her a little bit. Another good frame of brood. Brood on both sides. Oh, and a little bit of a... down the bottom here. Where is it? See those fatter ones? Little eggs, egg-shaped things there? More drone brood. A little tiny bit of drone brood. That is very good. Right. Now it is starting to get a bit more chilly. And there was a slight breeze, so the bees are getting a little bit more agitated. As you can probably see by the amount of flying bees increasing a little bit. But they are still fairly placid. A nice big yellow frame of brood. I also think I'm moving them around a bit too quickly. Should slow down. Fresh brood. I would say that's probably just freshly capped as to why it's... Oh! You can actually see in the middle there. Where are they? Right here. Where is it? Why can't I see it on the camera? Right there. Why can't I see it on the camera? Is my finger moving? Am I... Oh, there she is. A bee being born. She's just hatching. Whoa, that's not what I wanted. She is just hatching out, chewing her way through the front of the cell. And I just kicked the stand now. See that? Slowly, slowly, just chewing her way till it's wide enough, and she will pop out and she will be almost entirely white. She'll be very, very pale and then gradually get colour. She'll also be unable to fly. See, oh, she's trying for it. What do you think? Can you get out, or do you need a little bit more chewing? Maybe a little bit more chewing. Should we see if we can... I've not actually watched one fully hatch before. So we'll just... Same with my arm, my thumb is... Not my thumb, my palm is cramping quite badly from pinching this frame. Come on. I don't have infinite pinch strength. Is it happening? See some of the other bees checking on her as well. Although I think they just check everything over, to be fair. They are nurse bees. They are the younger bees. Younger bees tend to stay in the hive and look after the young They will feed the larvae, they will cap over the cells when they're ready, and they just generally act as, well, nursemaids. They're nursemaid. I actually can't tell this is taking far too long and my hand is cramping, unfortunately. So yes, another frame of brood. And very yellow comb in that corner there. Perhaps they've been on some yellow flowers, like dandelions or something similar. It does stain the bees, and then the bees stain everything they walk on. Mind out. Don't want to pinch you. Oh, it's so much easier when I don't need a hive tool. Yep, another frame of brood, as expected. Nice, big, healthy frame of brood. A little bit of stores in between the brood, but I think that might just be because this is close to the entrance. Oh, no, it's not. Actually, the entrance is in the center. So I don't know why they're doing that. When they have more space, they have more frames that are not used, so I don't know why they're going for that. Mind out. And then the final frame, as expected, nice, shiny, liquid stores. Only on one side that, oh no, there's some on this side, not a ton. And we've got a stinger again. You can focus on the bee. Focus on the bee. She's trying. There's not much I can do to help her, unfortunately. If I try to help her, she is likely to rip her stinger out, which it is in there at the moment, a little bit deep, so she may just rip it out anyway. That's it, spin around, that's the tactic. Twist it out, trying to dig at it with her feet a little bit. Come on. I believe in you, don't just pull. Be persistent. No, that will kill you. You can do it if you just keep spinning. We have faith. It's just the tip that's stuck in there. No, don't do that, don't do that. Just keep spinning. You can do it. If you just keep wiggling around and trying at it, eventually, because stinger is not super far in, so I think you've got a chance of getting it out. See, she's kind of kicking and pulling at it with her back legs. Bees actually don't die when they sting. The issue only comes when they rip their stinger off, which doesn't happen when they sting insects. They have a stinger that is designed for insects, and our skin is just a little bit too rubbery, leathery, compared to the carapace of an insect. It's designed to be a specialty, like armor-piercing little needle, and instead of hard armor that they're sticking it through, they have stuck it into a tire, which doesn't go well for them. They then get it stuck and it is attached to some of their innards, so when they don't try and fly away yet, you can do it. I would not be able to stand this if I didn't have gloves on, just an FYI. I would have swatted her off. Just, these things are incredibly, hey, there we go, incredibly painful. So yes, bees don't actually die when they sting you. Sorry, bees don't actually die when they sting, they only die when they sting you. Now, they have actually built some wax against the inside of the box, which I don't want them to do, really, because that will invite crushing of bees. So I'm just going to scrape that off on the floor. Really need to get a pot here to keep that stuff in. We will put this back. Just wiggle, wiggle, wiggle to wiggle the bees out of the way. And then I'm going to take this frame from the end. and do the checkerboarding. Just gonna move that up to the end. Oh, and this one. Oh, sorry. Oh, I've just squashed one a little bit. I think she's okay. Don't you start. No more stinging, thank you. 2 stings. Ugh. Now, we said we had 4 frames of brood and then 1 frame of stores, so that should be brood, that should be brood. I'm just going to stick it straight in the middle of the brood nest. And that will encourage them to, as I said, clean it up and encourage the queen to lay in it. Now, I know that people also say that you should put the frames back in the way you've found them. You okay? Yeah, you're okay. I think I've just managed 2 inspections without crushing a single bee. Oh no, I crushed a couple when I put the lid back on, didn't I? Damn, so close. Aha, ha, ha. Nearly. Nearly. Let's stick that back in. Make sure it's all squashed that way so the bee spacing is correct. Get this back on. I don't have to be as careful with this one because it won't sit on top of the frames. I can actually, this bag is empty, so I can get rid of that and I can show you what I have done. Now, I like using I've just gone blank. Crown boards. I like to use clear crown boards because I like to be able to, especially in the winter, see what's going on without actually letting the bees out. So I made these myself. I also made them in 2 parts so that if the bees are being a bit of a pain, I can leave one half on and have half the frames still be covered, take the other one off and just check through these and then bump it over and then check through those so I don't have the whole thing open all at once. So that's benefit number 1. Benefit number 2 is I made some half-width boxes that hold 5 frames. So then I can just use one of these on there. And the issue I'm having on that one over there and why it's crushing bees is because, as you can see, border wall, border wall, border wall, half border wall. You see how that is not as thick? That was intentional so that it doesn't rest directly on top of the frames every time and crush bees. Unfortunately, you can't really, or I couldn't really get the glue to stick this to this very well. So when I put a full jar on that one, it pushed the acrylic down. See, it's not really attached. For some reason, that one was extra flexible, and when I put the jar on it, it flexed down enough that bees could get up out of it. So I just flipped it over, and then it's resting on top, and then I guess we'll have to work on the design. It's only attempt number 1. What is that? Ugh. Just gonna clear off this silly wild comb that they built on the top, because when I put that down, that will crush bees. Hey, a wasp, go away. I will crush you the second I get the chance, I swear. Do not like wasps. They are partially responsible for taking out my colony last year. So I didn't like them anyway, but do not like wasps. Sorry, you can't see what I'm doing. Just trying to clean that off without scratching the plastic too much. So trying to be a bit careful. Flick that on the ground. It's wax, it's natural. It will biodegrade, I assume, and things will eat it, and it's fine. Right, you guys. Yep, fly away or go down. There we are. Just 1 or 2 left. Maybe I can just nudge out the way. Nudge. Come on, you guys, out the way. There we go. Got 1 bee pestering me. You should get off there because you'll get stuck. You'll get stuck. Oh, actually, I don't need to clear them off yet. I should close up my little hole, because I'm not using that one. Just drop that in there. Right, and then that's it. I only have 2 hives for the time being. The second they fill a box, I will be splitting them. So as soon as they are on maybe 10 out of 11 frames, I'm going to split them. So basically, I'll just keep an eye out for when they start drawing comb out, because then that means that they're wanting more space. I will take half of the brood frames, half of the store frames, and put them in separate boxes. And then 1 colony becomes 2. Because that is how beekeeping works. That's how bees work. They actually cannot reproduce any other way. Bees will create a virgin queen. She flies off, mates with males from other colonies, drones. The drones die, and she will come back. And when she comes back to the colony she came from, the existing queen that was there prior, assuming there was one and they weren't having any issues and trying to, save themselves, assuming there was another queen, that queen will have left and taken half of the worker bees with it. They will have filled their stomachs up with as much resource as they can, because they can regurgitate it back out and use it. And they'll leave and they'll find somewhere new to live. And that's how bees reproduce. They just divide. They split in half. Create a virgin. Existing queen leaves with half. Virgin goes out. Comes back. Lives there. Repeat, 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 repeat. And they just do that when they get to the point where they're like, oh, we don't have enough space. We don't have enough space. There's too many bees. Things are good. We have resources. Let's go find a new place to live. Let's make more bees. So yeah, that was me rambling and checking through bees. Don't know if that was interesting at all. Now, what did I do with the little remote thing? Did I put it in my pocket? Okay, good. Not that I need it right now. I could just press the button, but didn't want to have lost it. So that's beehive check number 4 of the season, I think. No, 3. This is the 3rd time I've actually opened them. I've come to look just through the top and replace feeders and stuff a couple times, but this is check number 3 of the season. So, and yeah, everything's looking good. Wonderful. Let's see if I can be bothered to upload this. Oh, I see. My clicker no longer works. I've actually had a change of heart with this colony. They're on 9 out of 11 frames at the moment. Not fully utilising all of them, but they are expanding. And they do have quite a lot of brood in there. They have 4 full frames of brood, which are going to explode out at any moment. I'm a little bit nervous about leaving them for another week in this state, because they have too much brood and... Not too much, it's ideal. I want them to expand out, but I'm just going to give them some more space. Because if they feel confined at all, they will try to swarm, and I don't want that. So what I'm actually going to do, I don't want to double brood them yet. I don't want to give them a full second box, because I'm planning to change hive types from UK Standard National to UK Commercial. UK Standard Commercial, which is... Oh, sorry, I've just squashed some bees. Which is the same footprint, as in same measurement. It's 5mm bigger, so it will fit directly on top of this one. But it has shorter handles on all of the frames, and they've brought the walls out slightly. So it's just more space in the same amount of space, if you get what I mean. Same outside dimensions of the box, but more room for the bees. Just more efficient design, I feel. Also, way easier for me to make, because I make all of my own equipment. I made everything here. So... yeah, but what the idea, I should probably move that back thinking about it. The idea I have just had is that I can actually, using my half boxes, I can give them 5 more frames instead of a full box, because I don't really want to be giving them more space right now. But if I am careful, blowing does agitate them a little bit, but also makes them go away. Oh, I moved a bit quick there. They went for my hand. Excuse me, just need to scrape that off because it's not ideal. Not ideal. Bye bye wax. Don't want crazy game. See, who needs a smoker? I'm joking, a smoker would be way more effective, but I'm not lighting a smoker just for one. One little clearing of bees. Mind out. You gonna get squished. Now, if I do my little rocking technique, move, 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 and look down the side, you should be able to see when it's clear and pop it down without squishing anything. And what I'm doing there is I'm just bringing the bees are obviously sitting on the thing. I'm just bringing the other hive and just tapping on their back as gently as I can, and they move out of the way. So you can move bees without a smoker. It is possible. Smoker's much easier, but it is possible. And then, I'm going to, much more slowly than that, do the, yeah, no, they can get under there, okay. Move, what is it stuck on, Jesus. Oh, this edge, okay. Just going to bring that in. Just gently squeeze out the bees. That's it, move out the way. And there we go. In again without squashing anything. And then I take my other yes, that can go there. In fact, I should probably use it upside down because of the because of this edge being a different height. That is so that when it's sat over the middle of all the frames, this bar doesn't sit on top of all the frames and deal with squashing bees every single time. But now, don't need that. Flip it over. No bees in the way, good. And now I've just given the bees access. Thinking about it, I've done this the wrong way round, but it's fine. I should have put this directly over top of the more crowded part of the hive. I'm just going to encourage these bees to go down through that hole. There we go. Well, not there you go. None of them went down. Whatever. Fly away, because you'll get shut in there. And yes, now I have I actually can't see what you can see because there's a thing across the center of my camera. Yes, okay, you can see everything. Now I've given the bees access to 5 more frames, which, like I said, I should have put here, but for the sake of checking things, easier on this side. So now they will come across, and they will come up, and they have 5 more frames to deal with before they run out of space. So now the 9 frames worth of bees has got 7 frames to expand on, so that's lots of space. That is well enough space to do them for the week. I very much doubt. Also, they have to draw out 3 out of 5 of these frames don't have fully drawn comb. They have a little bit because these are last season's frames. But yes, so now I have actually forgotten. I do actually have to now wander off camera because I've forgotten the other box that I very much need. However, I do have a microphone on me now, so wandering away means you can still hopefully hear me. I can grab this, dump out those frames, and this one should just act as a spacer. I'm just going to come around this side actually and stand directly in front of the entrance. This should act as a spacer. It should be pretty much within a couple of millimeters as the same height as that one, because you've got the crown board there and you've got the crown board there, so it matches up. Oh, sorry, I've got a squashed bee there. How unfortunate. Get off. Sorry. My bad. But yeah, there we are. And that is something I have never done before. It's not something it actually occurred to me that I can do with just adding 5 frames instead of a full box. So, yeah, we'll see how that goes. I think that's actually... I'm definitely going to have to make some more hive boxes, half hive boxes, in the new style that I'm going for. The commercial style with the commercial frames. I want half boxes now. So I should probably get right on that. I should be able to just close them up. Stick my hive tool in there, actually. Just stick that on top of the jar so I can get to it easily. All closed up, and then we put a strap. Now, this area is very much... Wind is not an issue. You can see there's a building behind me. There's also a building right there. They kind of come together in a V. So with them being sandwiched between 2 farm buildings, there's not really any wind here. My concern, really, and also there's another barn there, kind of. So really no wind. Other than the odd gust. My concern is more so that this is a cattle farm, and occasionally they do walk you have to move cows. So the cows can actually just wander up here if they're during a move. So, best to strap it up. I don't think a cow would be intentionally getting into a beehive, but they may lean up against one or nudge one, and I don't want it to shift and open or get knocked off or anything. So, straps it is. Now, I don't know if you can see in the background, just here, my plans for expansion. Very big, long hive stand that when I perform my same apiary splits, actually a bit far away now, so I'm off camera. When I perform my splits, it will be within this same apiary. So, I mean, that's not ideal. You're supposed to take them... When you split a hive, you're supposed to take them 3 miles away. Or is it 3 kilometers? It's 3 something. You're supposed to take them away to a separate apiary so that none of the bees know where they are. Because when a hive splits naturally and decides to swarm and leave, they are choosing to leave. When you perform, as a beekeeper, when you perform a split, the bees haven't chosen to leave their home, so the second they fly out, they just go home. Back to the box they were in at the start. So, yeah, my plan is to do splits, and when I do the splits, instead of having the original hive sat here, I'm just going to stick all of it on that hive stand, completely get rid of all of this. And then hopefully the bees should kind of just choose one of the splits to go into, or ideally divide themselves amongst the splits, but I'm led to believe that they will pick one or two and fill them. So perhaps a better move would be to make the weakest split like left here, so that all the flying bees, the non-nurse bees, will come back to that one and leave that one with the original queen so she can start laying immediately. New queens in the other ones, so there might be a bit of a delay before they start laying. So they need the initial boost, whereas these can get up to speed immediately. So maybe that's the more sensible option. Get all the foraging bees in the weakest thing with as I just explained. Anyway, all strapped up now. Best tidy up, get the suit off, and get home, go see my beautiful daughter. So that's the plan. Oh, do I have... Oh, twice in a row managed not to lose something. Well done. Well done me. Just give myself a little... So stupid. Oh,